back with our video sit-downs, and we've turned our attention now to the Mason County Assessor race. And Patti McLean is the lady sitting across the table from me. And she ran a write-in campaign 4 years ago.
2014.
2014.
Yes. And
she's back this time from the beginning
right.
of the process. So I'll let her tell everybody about Patti.
So 4 years ago, some fellow coworkers and prior assessor, they encouraged me to be a write-in nomination. They kept asking me. Mm-hmm. And I said, go. I said, go ahead if you want. I didn't really think I'd get on the ballot. So I got the 1% vote to get on the general ballot. So then I got got moving and got signs out, and only lost by about 1,000 points. So it was, encouraging that they thought I could do a good job.
So a little bit about your background.
In 1991, I went to work. Daryl Cleveland hired me at the assessor's office as a front counter clerk. I never thought I'd grow up to work in an assessor's office, but life led me down that path, and it was kind of the first day I was like, I had no clue, what the office was about. But you quickly learn. It's actually very interesting. So, and through the years, I worked my way up through the data administrative technician. I entered field sheets for the appraisers and into the computer system and stuff, and got the value notices out. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty much, I can do everything in the office, kind of clerical-wise, through 26 years there.
Okay, so why'd you choose to run again?
Same group of people encouraged me through the years. They think the service levels that the current assessor is holding right now at the office is not, high standards. So I feel with my experience and my knowledge, I can get things turned around.
So if elected, top priorities?
Well, my first top priority is going to be to reopen the assessor's office back on Fridays. The current assessor had closed them due to the budget cuts, and the way to deal with that, it just turns into a detriment to the taxpayers. Our office with the other two offices, it causes undue stress on those offices when you can't walk down to the assessors if you need to. So that'll be my first priority. I feel I'm able, I can facilitate this change by providing support to the front counter and allowing my staff to work uninterrupted, and it'll give face-to-face time with my constituents. So I've worked the front counter many years, so I can continue to do that.
Okay. What? You have more?
My next priority would be to get the revaluation done on time. When I started in 1991, there were about 10 appraisers. Currently, there's only 4 residential, the chief appraiser, and a sales support / BOE clerk appraiser. So with the experience I've gained now at Grays Harbor Assessor's Office as an appraiser, I feel I can step in and help the current staff help with the reval load. Along with my data entry experience, I can also help get the data entered in the computer and assist them to get done on time. So, completing the revaluation early will allow for timely assessments mailed to the taxpayers along with the accuracy, and it also allows the taxing districts to get their budgets turned in on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the biggest challenges in the office?
Biggest challenge.
Biggest challenge.
So I feel the biggest challenge is going to be getting the revaluation done on time. With the reduced number of appraisers, it has been difficult for the assessor's office to mail out the notices on time in a timely manner. I also aim to increase the accuracy of the data before it is mailed to the taxpayers, so there's fewer corrections and disputes of appraised values. With hard work, determination, and the streamlined process, I feel we are able to get closer to the guidelines every year, state guidelines. Another challenge is our software program. It's developing every year as we enter stuff into the computer system, so it needs to be accurate. When I worked in Mason County, I spent long hours of conversion time from the old system to the new system to make sure the data was converted correctly as it could be. I have a strong understanding of how the software works and able to work with the software developers to optimize its use for the county. I've also trained staff in the current office I'm at now in Grays Harbor, along with in Mason County when I was there, of how it functions and how I will continue to make sure my staff has the proper training to make it, efficient and the way it's supposed to be working.
Service levels and staffing, salaries, that sort of thing. What steps would you make to make sure that we keep those service levels and keep the staff at least where it is now?
Okay. Well, I think there's a consensus from the public that the service of the assessor's office could improve. I believe opening back to the public on Fridays will raise the standard of service. And having served taxpayers in Mason County Assessor's office for 26 and a half years, they have come to know my dedication to them and the quality of my service. Many taxpayers have reached out to me personally, not knowing that I wasn't at Mason County no longer, and they could not believe the office closed down to the public once a week, while the treasurers and the auditors faced the same budget cuts and remained open. As assessor, I'll bring my service record along with transparency and accessibility to the forefront to best serve as their elected official. Salaries are bound to a contract negotiated by their union. However, if cuts need to be made to balance the 2019 budget, I'll be the first to take a salary cut. Staffing is at the lowest it's ever been in the office. I see maybe just shifting a few things around, not eliminating other positions, but might need more appraisers versus clerical. Maybe, a clerical would want to become an appraiser. And with the support with my data entry, I can, fill that end also. So.
What do you see that you can do to make it more efficient with current staff, or is there anything left to cut?
No, there's no more to cut.
Okay.
I want to reorganize the office, the appraisal department for the most part. When I first started, their appraisers were responsible for their own inspection area. They did their sales analysis, they did their inspections, they turned it in to me to enter all the data, and we went back and forth to make sure it was accurate. Now they're using the 4 field appraisers just for data collection. The chief appraiser, he sets all the values, for the whole county. So if I do like Grays Harbor currently does, their appraisers do the 1/5 of the county. They do it from start to finish, and then the sales analysis will do the 5/6 of the county. So it's simultaneous and make sure all the values flow across all the neighborhoods and following the market.
Is there a way to increase revenues into the office at all?
The assessor's, yeah. Well, the assessor's office is not a department that generates revenue. Listening in on a board case last week at Grays Harbor Assessor, the appellant had kind of accused the county assessor's office of, just raising values to help the commissioners get money for the county. We have to follow the market. So that, bottom line, that's the market. What I want to do, though, is I want to make sure all our tax exemption programs are audited and found compliant. This includes auditing all the designated forest land, current use farm and ag, and current use timber programs to make sure everybody's compliant with what they're saying they're doing with their land, because you have to turn in a plan and you have to follow it to get your tax reduction. If they're not compliant, if we found in the audit, then they'll be removed and be taxed back at 100% of market value. Also, per the Department of Revenue, we're required to audit the seniors and disability program to make sure their income levels are correct and they are residing on the property.
So Patty, I'd like to wrap these things up with a short little question.
Okay.
Then I tried to do this with the elevators, the 30-second elevator spiel about why we should elect you. Don't have too many elevators here in Mason County, so people look at me kind of crazy.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, elevator speech, what do you mean? But basically a short little statement of why we should make you our next auditor.
Assessor.
See, there we go. Assessor, yes.
I feel I can, with my hard work and my determination, I can keep the office open on Fridays. If I'm running the front counter, I'll be running the front counter. My staff can sit in the back and do their work uninterrupted. I can step in. If there's a family emergency with any of my employees, I can fill in where needed and to keep deadlines met.
Okay. Thanks for taking some time talking.